suppose this one isn't going to be as funny because we're talking about... I don't mind talking about somber things.
I mean, we can be funny while talking about them. Gus.
Yeah.
No.
Perfect. Oh, just dropped a little bit of cork in there. But that's just like drink it through your teeth. It's a natural filter. It's an 11-year-old cork.
That is fair. How cute do I look right now?
Great. I love it.
Don't lie to me.
You look like Rick. Because your sides are like Frank.
Morty.
Morty. All right, welcome back to Over a Bottle. This is episode 6.
Yes.
My name is Paul Erdman, and I'm friends with this guy.
Hey, I'm Jordan Reagan. I'm friends with Paul Erdman.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You switch it up like every time.
It's different.
I love it.
Gotta be
What are we
weird.
talking about today, man?
Hurt people hurt people. The notion is that the people who do the most damage to other people in relationship are the people that they themselves have had significant hurt done in their lives.
Oh, I see. So hurt people hurt people.
Yeah.
There's a comma in there.
Yes.
No.
No.
No?
No comma. Yeah, just hurt people hurt people.
Is there a conceptual comma?
Nope.
Hurt people hurt people.
Hurt people hurt people.
Ooh, what if the comma was after the second hurt? Like hurt people hurt people. Today we were drinking Cake Bread Cellars Sauvignon Blanc.
That was said pretty well, actually. That's
Thank
good.
you. It's a Napa Valley wine. It's from 2005. And according to internets, it is worth monies.
Paul hates white wine, so
Yeah.
So we're talking about being hurt and...
Yeah, hurt people hurt their friends with white wine.
So what were you guys doing in 2005?
I was senior year of high school, and I was wearing bright red sequins, and I was in a show choir called Pizzazz. I'm so glad we had that laugh back.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Did you hear us make fun of your laugh on the last
did,
episode?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not even a bad, it's like a really good laugh.
It's a hearty laugh.
Yeah, it's a very good laugh.
Cheers. Here's to us.
Have you ever been, in your life, a hurt person?
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I think that I spent most of my childhood uncomfortable in my own skin. I spent a lot of time being afraid when I was a child.
That sucks.
Yeah, it's fine, because like I feel like I've dealt with it.
Yeah.
Or put it aside. Either way, it's not like present in my front consciousness. I was very uncomfortable. I didn't have a lot of self-worth, I guess. This got really heavy really quick. Through a lot of middle school especially. I could tell that I wasn't as attractive as the other guys in school. And I didn't have as many girlfriends as the other guys in school. Well, I dealt with it the way most comedians deal with pain. Is I wanted positive attention.
You developed a personality instead, and then became an actually amazing person.
Yeah. No. I feel like I'm a good person now, but my journey didn't
start that way.
with... Yeah. I would say that I became a class clown. I became incredibly hilarious. Very, very good at telling jokes.
Be confident.
Yeah. I gained friends by being hilarious. Not girlfriends. That didn't happen till later. Being funny in your adult life gets you attention from girls, but still in junior high and high school, you don't get a lot of attention from being funny unless you're funny and. You have to be funny and. Like
Funny
he's funny and rich, or he's funny and attractive.
Sure.
Or he's funny and wears good clothes. I was just funny. I was trying to dress
okay.
like the popular kids,
Okay.
but we couldn't afford it, and so I would get like those 3 outfits, but I would cycle them in 3s, and I would get made fun of for wearing the same clothes. Just because
Really?
I was so proud of those clothes. And I even remember one time, like, this is going to show my age a little bit, but I wanted bleach tips in my hair.
We all did.
Yeah, and so I asked my dad if I could have bleach tips, and he's like, "Why do you want bleach tips?" And I just started crying. Like, just bawling, because, like, I wanted bleach tips because I wanted to fit in, I wanted to be cool, and I wasn't cool, and, like, that was such a profound question that he asked me, and he had no idea that it was, and so I probably confused him.
Why do you want bleach tips?
Why?
Viewer, why do you want bleach tips?
I couldn't even, like, articulate my point to him. I just bawled because I didn't have the mental faculties, I guess.
Why do we all want bleach tips?
Right. And so
Carson Daly is the answer, by the way.
that is exactly why. So then I grew.
We need an Andrew laugh meter. Like, that was a 6 out of 10 Andrew laugh meter. Like, it might get into the shot, it might not. But, like, I'm pretty proud now. I was like,
yeah, that's not bad.
Risk the Carson Daly joke,
Yeah.
and it did land.
So I was a hurt person, so I developed that comedy. I don't know what we.
So is that why you made fun of me so much when we met each other?
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's actually
He made
where
fun of my nipple size, and he said I have huge nipples.
you got. It's not that the areolas are huge; it's that the actual nipple sticks out far.
Oh, look, it's turned sideways.
Yeah.
You see how far it sticks out?
This is
I can't really see it.
This is 4K video. I'll just zoom right in.
Yeah, you're just like, look at those huge nipples, and I'm like, I didn't choose these.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Thanks,
no.
Reagans. Ah!
And that's exactly my point. Is that once I found out that I was more clever than the people around me because the way I dealt with like not being accepted was to become very funny and just study people and learn what made them laugh. I became a really good student of people, and then I found out I know how to hurt you. And so
Why are we the same person?
Because we're friends.
Okay.
So I found out I could turn that like mental power around and just tear other people down to my level.
Holy smokes.
And
Yeah.
I spent from probably 16 to 25 dabbling in that realm. 16 to 22 was the worst. I was so mean to people, and I would just be like, I'm not talking to you because you're dumb. And I wouldn't say those words, but I would just like say those or share that feeling.
I
with
remember
people.
you being good to your friends, but even then you could still cut us too.
I could cut. Yep.
And that's usually if we first displayed to you some sort of hurt, insult,
Yeah.
then you were ready.
It's like, boom, I'm going to tear you down.
Yeah.
You don't know what you just started. Like, that was my attitude. And, like, there's times when if I'm tired or grumpy, that version of me will still come out. And, like, I'll make you cry just because I want to. Which is messed up. But it's, like, it's how I developed.
Your coping mechanism.
But on the inside, like, I am so insecure, even to this day. My confidence in some things is real. Like, I can stand in front of a group of people and talk, and it's not a problem. But then I have anxiety issues when it comes to making phone calls.
That's sorry to laugh, but yeah, no, and I've had that beat out of me. I also have anxiety, but
Yeah.
I had to do it so many times that I
Yeah.
can. But yeah,
And now I do it for work,
Yeah.
like, every day, so I'm fine on the phone.
slowly starting.
Yeah, but like a couple years ago, if we were gonna order pizza, I'd be like, "I'll pay, you call." I let bills go into default because I couldn't call the company to pay my bill.
Sorry, I'm
Yeah,
late.
I have this like reoccurring nightmare that like my dad is getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and his voice is getting louder and louder, and I'm shrinking and getting smaller and smaller, and my ears start to ache, and then they bleed because his voice is so big, and I think like when I think about
That's an epic dream.
yeah, it's really terrifying. But then when
If we have any psychologists that watch the show, please describe what that dream means also in the comments below.
yeah, but then when I call people, like I think, oh, they're gonna yell at me. They're gonna yell at me the way my dream dad yells at me.
Dream dad. Do you remember any specific occurrences of where you hurt someone from this place of insecurity?
I'm just not like super.
Anyone you want to
comfortable.
apologize to in the room at all for things you... I'm just kidding.
Nope. I'm all good with everything I've said to you.
No.
I've said some shit to Andrew. Like I've talked about like some physical attributes of Andrew that like they're not like disgusting or anything. They're just like a little bit like abnormal. Like I've made fun of your hands not being the size of a man's hands.
That's a really mean thing to say.
I know, and I've like made
Andrew, your
like,
hands
this-
are just fine.
And now I'm doing it on a video, but like I've made a pact with you that I'm not going to do tiny hands jokes anymore because it just cuts you down and there's no need.
But we are going to include that part in the video
I'm
at the
probably
beginning
going to edit
and
this
the end
part.
of the video.
I feel like I'm going to edit this part out because like I don't want to break our pact.
Okay.
Yeah, but I don't know. I can definitely think of a couple specific things, but I really don't want to bring them up because like
Yeah.
I've apologized in private for some of the stuff I said. Like there was a time when I said something to one of all three of us, one of our close friends' wife. I said something that I still feel bad about, and I have since apologized. And I'm not gonna rehash
Sure.
that again because
Yeah.
I mean
But it was-
she forgave me, and
But it was out of that place of insecurity and hurt.
yep.
Okay.
Yep, I'm hurt. You should be hurt. What about you, man? What's your story being involved in hurting people?
Well, it's funny you talk about being a student of people, right?
Yeah.
Because that's something I've been watching through the years, high school, college especially. I just love people watching. I love seeing how people interact, why they do the things that they do. So much interaction between people is from romantic relationship or the desire to have one, right?
Yeah.
You see all these people angling to get someone to like them, to get someone to flirt with them. You see other people watching people flirting, and they kind of want to be part of it because they like the girl or guy involved.
Mm-hmm.
I saw a lot of that happening. But then you see these relationships, and more often than not, you see people who are of the same sex developing friendship bonds, and you see immediate jealousy or immediate copycatism, you know, where people are like I probably did that to you a little bit in high school, where Paul's so funny, not knowing that it's like based off this like very real insecurity that you had. I just thought you were hilarious and like very like sharp and witty and stuff. So I was like, I want to be like that. So I watched you, I copied what you did, and then I grew my own skill set in that. My friend Austin in high school, this is a true story. This is actually a way better example. We would go to the lakes, Austin and I, and we'd somehow magically always be hanging out 2 and 2. It'd be me and Austin, a girl from Mankato, and her friend, West McDonald Lake. We'd go there, we'd get to the campfire, and I am like loving it. I'm like ready,
Yeah.
like it's like Austin's flirting with the main alpha girl, and I'd be sitting there, and I kid you not, we'd be sitting there, Austin would be really funny, I wouldn't get as many words in, or whatever. By the end of the night, both girls would be in love with Austin, and I would just be like, well, either of you, okay.
You want me to put another log on the fire? Or?
Yeah, like pretty much like, and I will say it actually was painful for me that like, wow, like instead of this turning out to be some great like couples thing, like both of them were super into Austin, and I had a similar coping mechanism to you where like I was hurt, I had to figure out a different way to adapt to the fact that he was really good looking and I was just like an average looking guy. Mm-hmm. So I had to get funnier and become smarter and wittier or whatever. But you know, that's more surface level. I'm even thinking like deeper levels of stuff too. And something I wanted to talk about is like your family history. When you see someone just acting totally mean towards another person, it's almost always has nothing to do with that particular friendship, and almost always has something to do with the way that person was raised. Maybe individuality was really celebrated from my dad to me. So if someone started copycatting me, they saw me copying you, you know, being fast, witty, smart, funny. If someone started copying me and started saying all the things which happened to me in high school, I would be legitimately mean to them. I'd be like, I'll just be like, you can't do that. You can't copy. You just said the thing I just said. Why are you doing that? I'd make them feel so awkward and upset because I would like catch them saying the thing that I said all the time. I gotta celebrate my individuality. But it was because I was hurt. It was because I was insecure, and I wanted to develop my own thing. But I think kind of the biggest place that you see hurting people is in romantic relationships. I broke up with my high school girlfriend right before my sophomore year of college. And what I did is I got back to college and I said, I'm not over this relationship. I didn't know what grieving was. I didn't know what not trying to keep being with the person that left you was. And so what I did is I kept just dating people. I was just like, hey, you're cool. But I was totally emotionally unavailable. But I would just date them anyway, because why not? It's great to, you know, your mouth is soft, my mouth is soft. Let's put our mouths on each other. Yep. And I dated these people, and then literally on a timer, once the 2-month mark hit, I went, sorry, I'm done. I'm not over my ex. I never told him that, but I was so hurt from the brokenness of that relationship that I just was trying to solve it with like a 2-month temporary Band-Aid relationship, and it never worked. When people are hurt, that's when you see things like they're unafraid to share themselves with each other. For example, you were saying in high school, you were so nervous of someone seeing this insecurity that you had that you kind of developed these masks, right?
Oh yes, I still wear masks to this day.
Yeah, so I just think that we develop these masks and we exude whatever it might be, whatever the positive opposite trait is that we have in our hearts. If we're sad, we pretend we're really happy all the time.
Right. I think that the metaphorical heart of every person.
It's a great start.
You're such a dick.
You just said the metaphorical heart of every person.
Well, it's not their actual physical heart. The stomach of every person. Wasn't it? What culture was that? Ancient culture.
See,
They didn't say, like, my heart yearns for you. It's like, my stomach yearns for you.
that's amazing.
Yeah.
I want to find that culture.
Yeah, I can't remember who it is, but it doesn't matter. So the metaphorical heart of every person is so fragile.
Yeah.
So to be genuine with your feelings to other people is basically opening the door to that fragile heart and saying, like, this is who I am. Please come and look at me, like the soul of me. And the reason why we put up a front or wear a mask or exude the opposite of what we're actually feeling is just a way to protect that fragile heart from being broken. And I live that life on the daily.
Really?
Yeah, it's like the only thing I know how to do. Like, as I honestly think I need therapy. It's the only way I know to protect myself from that pain, because when I actually feel genuine heartbreaking pain, I hit the floor and I cry. And I'm on the floor crying for 3 days straight. And that's how I deal with real life pain. So in order to avoid that situation, like, we've evolved in the Midwest to just not deal with it and just be something else on the outside.
That's the realest sentence I've ever heard. It's so true.
Yeah. How are you and I friends? Like, we shouldn't be friends because you technically have not seen the real me. You fell in love, friend-wise, with the mask that I wear on the daily.
You reveal yourself to me sometimes in pockets and snippets, and I think what you give to me, I love.
I think that sounds really nice.
I know more about you than I've ever known about you right now.
Well, the problem is, I don't know if I know me. You know what I mean? So how could you possibly know me?
I don't.
If I don't really know, like, I came to this conclusion last summer. Travis's kitchen, right?
Was this like a moment? Like, Paul knows himself now?
No, but it was a step towards being a more real, genuine person that wasn't so, like, intentionally mean, just to give myself a temporary joy.
That was probably the first time that I felt that I saw this real you.
Right.
Like somebody that was refreshingly different than the Paul that I usually know.
Mm-hmm. And I want to, like, be that person now. Like, I want to try and grow into that person where I'm real and I'm open with my friends, open with my wife even, like, to a more genuine, I guess, version of me that she's married to.
Yeah.
And not this, like, whatever facade. But it's just so hard because for over a decade...
Are you worried that we're not going to love you if you show us who you truly are?
No, I'm not worried about that. I'm just worried. I'm honestly just worried about being hurt. Like,
what would happen? Who would hurt you?
It's not that people want to hurt me. It's that I know if you don't know me, like, I am impervious to any damage. You can't hurt me because you don't.
You right now.
Yeah, the one that wears masks, it's an armor. You could try, but you can't hurt me. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't share a genuine opinion because, like, if I did, you could tear it down. So I share opinions of this character I've created.
Paul did that for so long. Right after high school, you created a very conservative character.
It was so much fun.
It was actually like old Colbert. Like, that was Paul.
Yeah. Seriously, I did it before. 100%. It was pre-Colbert.
It was Bible Camp Paul.
My MySpace name was Paul Fox News Erdman. It was amazing. And I once asked someone, do you know, or are you going to heaven when you die? And he goes, I don't know, I hope so. And I said, if you don't know 100%, you're not going. And I walked away.
Dropped mic.
Yeah.
Boom.
Like, that's just this character I created because it's like, you know, you can't hurt me because these opinions are this character's opinions, they're not mine.
You responding to me saying I love you, even then you were distancing from me a little bit. You were saying, well, how could you know me? I've never shown you my real self. You were angling and slithering around saying, do you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You were actually still angling a little bit to say, you can't love me. When you numb the bad, you numb all the good too. Mm-hmm. You can't selectively numb your feelings.
The problem with me is that when I fake my feelings or fake my personality, I realized that like I'm really good at faking it, and that makes it really hard to break.
You've been
the
doing
cycle.
it a long time.
Yeah.
You have well-worn like paths to
Right.
faking it.
Truth. So it's like that makes it super difficult to like not do it because I'm at this point probably better at like faking it than I am at being genuine.
Yep. I think there's a generational divide. So our parents are all classically, as we describe them, they're stoic. Us as millennials are smarter than our parents at dealing with emotional issues.
Mm-hmm.
Would you agree with that sentence?
Yes, I would. There's only like a couple times in my life that I can remember my dad sharing what he actually felt on the inside. Well,
think about your dad taking off all of his masks, or my dad taking off all of his masks, and just being an open, vulnerable, emotional person.
I'd honestly rather get to know those people without the masks. But I get that.
Do you think that's possible though? Like,
no.
I'll be honest, I don't.
No, I don't. I honestly don't. I mean, there's been glimpses of that. There's been times when my dad's really opened up.
When someone dies in the family, or like when, and maybe not even.
No, I think. I mean, there was a time when. One really nice time I can remember recently, at the dining room table with my dad talking about stuff, and he just opened up and was really apologetic about a lot of the weird stuff that happened when I was growing up, the stuff that he had done, but then like showed me his pain, showed me his real self. And he said that, you know, he was a terrible father. He's made awful, awful mistakes, things that he can never make up for. And my response to him was a genuine response. Like, you know, I don't care about that stuff. Like, I'm okay. So let's celebrate, like, the relationship we have now. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't care about that.
Yeah.
Like, let's just be dudes.
We all have wounds. Mm-hmm. We all have family wounds. It's a matter of where we put them. Mm-hmm. And some of us slowly grow up into, okay, that happened then. Most of us kind of forget it or repress it or whatever. But, you know, we judge so many people for having it on their sleeve. You're like me, but you just didn't put it on the inside. You wear it out here.
I was going to bring this up, but I kind of forgot about it earlier. But I just, I read a poem last night. It's called Bluebird by Charles Bukowski.
Bluebird, a poem by Charles Bukowski. There's a bluebird in my heart that wants to get out, but I'm too tough for him. I say stay in there, I'm not going to let anyone see you. There's a bluebird in my heart that wants to get out, but I pour whiskey on him and inhale cigarette smoke, and the whores and the bartenders and the grocery clerks never know that he's in there. There's a bluebird in my heart that wants to get out, but I'm too tough for him. I say stay down. Do you want to mess me up? You want to screw up the works? You want to blow my book sales in Europe? There's a bluebird in my heart that wants to get out, but I'm too clever. I only let him out at night sometimes when everyone's asleep. I say I know that you're there, so don't be sad. Then I put him back, but he's singing a little in there. I haven't quite let him die. And we sleep together like that, with our secret pact, and it's nice enough to make a man weep. But I don't weep. Do you?
Cool.
It's real. Sorry.
That is real.
Yeah.
Well, that's episode 6.